Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to another Yukon Bob video, this time coming to you from the waters of Georgian Bay. The launch point for this trip is going to be Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park Campground. That's about 35-40 kilometers north of Parry Sound off the Trans-Canada Highway. So the whole idea here is we're going to camp in Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park for a couple of nights. We spent last night there and got up at around 6 o'clock to the campground. Launched the boat this morning, so we're on the Seadoo on the water about 9 o'clock in the morning. And the whole idea today is we're going to just tour around Georgian Bay, between Sturgeon Bay, Provincial Park, and maybe as far down as the Franklin Islands, down towards Killbear. Or no, sorry, towards, yeah, Killbear, down towards Killbear Provincial Park. That's the idea for today. Weather is supposed to be pretty good, nice and calm. I've got Ryan with me today, so this is not a solo trip. Ryan, you may remember from some past videos, was in the Vietnam video that we did about 5 months ago. Back in Canada now, and today is the day to explore Georgian Bay. So come along with us as we have a look at the waters of Georgian Bay between Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park and down towards the Franklin Islands. These are some pictures from the day before. This is Parry Sound, the closest town to where we were. This cruise ship comes all the way up through the inland waters on the Great Lakes system, all the way from places like Chicago. Long way on the inland waters. But this is Parry Sound, beautiful little town. If you're an NHL fan, this is the hometown of Bobby Orr. There's actually a Bobby Orr museum here. And here's the provincial campground, Sturgeon Bay. This is where we were going to camp for a couple of nights just off the highway. Bottle of scotch, a couple of classy glasses, and the camp spot. Okay, let's go have a look and see what the water situation looks like, what the launch looks like, and how far it is away from here. It's not supposed to be that far according to the map, but let's go have a look. It's actually not that big a provincial campground. There's a lot bigger ones than this, but it's fairly full. I think there's 10 or 12 spots open when I booked a couple of days ago. Okay, here's drinking water. Do not wash dishes with this, apparently. Okay, I think this is the actual boat launch, and it's not a great launch. It looks like a mud base, and it looks like some people have spun out in here a bit. Let's have a look. Oh no, there's a pad here. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, what'd you catch? Bass, smallmouth bass?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, how big? Like that long?
Yeah, one was 3 or 4 pounds.
Okay.
We had a big one. Yeah.
Okay, is this your boat?
No, rental.
Rental, eh?
Yeah.
We're gonna take off in a Seadoo tomorrow morning, head out.
Yeah.
Yeah, go down to Franklin Islands or somewhere.
Yeah.
So I could either park the trailer right here or take it back to the camp spot. Either or. Okay, there's a smallmouth bass. Move back right here in the shadow. Excellent. And what did you catch that on?
Minnow, I'm assuming.
Oh, you used a minnow?
Yeah.
You got to have some maps or some navigation ability with you when you're traveling these waters, unless you know them already from being out here a lot. Because there's a lot of little narrow channels and bays and things like that to get you lost. So you got to kind of know where you're going a little bit. And the Navionics works pretty well. I'm also using the Garmin Echo as sort of a breadcrumb thing that lays trails so you can find your way back. This is a busy place. It's kind of a social gathering spot. A lot of people pull in here. See if they've got a public dock here somewhere. Welcome to the Ojibwe Club. What a beautiful spot. They've got a store here. You can get gas here. And this is only 40 minutes from where we left. think what they've got going on here is there's a summer camp program for all these kids, probably for all the people who own cottages in the area. They have a camp program in the summer, tennis and, you know, all kinds of outdoor things that the kids show up and go to, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Tough day at the Ojibwe Club?
Yeah, I'm trying to get signed up here as a member.
How's that going for you?
I don't know, I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for someone to come and ask me.
To sign you up.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a gift shop here. There's the structure, built in 1906. So this club has been around, as I said, since 1906. And there wasn't much here back in 1906 when it was built. It was pretty sparsely populated around here. But it was quite a fashionable place in its day. Women in long dresses would show up here. Men in straw hats and spats would frequent the place. It closed in the 1960s apparently, but then a bunch of islanders bought the Ojibwe Club. They restored it a bit to its former glory. Now it's just kind of an open membership club that is available for activities for anybody who lives in this region or wants to join the club, but you do need a boat in order to get here. You can still wear the straw hat from 1906. Quite rustic looking. Got a little drone shot or two. I hope that's okay. I don't think anybody was complaining about it, so I think it's all right. It's not a park or anything, so we should be okay. Okay, let's head out of the Ojibwe Club. It is time for a swim in Georgian Bay. Just pulled into this nice little bay here. It's all private in here, and the water is actually fairly warm. There we go. Woo! Not bad. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very nice. Come on, Ryan, get in the water. Got Ryan driving now. Okay, so we're at Snug Harbor. How much fuel do we have left?
A bit more than half.
We have a little bit more than half fuel. So that is from Sturgeon Bay Provincial Campground to Gillies at Snug Harbor. Not quite a half a tank. So we could actually go all the way back probably from here without refueling, but we are going to refuel here. Well, a waiting line at the fuel dock. We're number 2, behind the glass-strawn boat. Gillies, that's the restaurant right there. Chicken fingers, fish taco. Ale. Got it. How much is it a liter here?
157.9.
And is it premium?
Yes.
Perfect. Look at this right, I'm a left-handed fueler. Videotaping with the right. Look at this, like a rock ledge under the water here. Careful, open that way a bit. A little more, and then neutral. Just want to edge it over there.
We're going to park?
Yeah, we're gonna go right in. This is a swimming hole if I've ever saw one. Off now, that's enough. But there's no place to... Okay, let's see. Hang on, I'm hanging on to you. Give me a rope. It's wrapped around the steering wheel. It's actually the wrong side, but... Perfect little harbor for the Seadoo. It's not going to go anywhere. Woo-hoo-hoo. Better. It's got a boggy out right here. There's no, the rock is not here. It's kind of boggy on the bottom. There, it's better over here. The water's cleaner here than the last spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Did your sandal pop out again? Both of them. The rock is nice and solid and not slippery. Look at the patterns in this rock. It's like grooves just cut right through it. Looks like some machine bore out these little treads. This tree's seen better days. So I decided that I would put the drone up in the air here when disaster struck. I was flying it, and I'm not sure if it was pilot air or something with the drone, but it moved sideways right into these bushes, hit the trees, and then fell out of the sky right into the water. Right in front of me. I ran over as quickly as I could and pulled the drone out of the water, but it was probably in the water for maybe 10, 15 seconds, well, the length of time of this clip, and I pulled it out. So I just had my second drone crash. I had the drone out there and I was bringing it in here, and all of a sudden it seemed kind of unresponsive, and it took off that way a little bit and went into those little trees right there, which didn't damage it at all, but then it fell into the water. So I grabbed it probably within 15 seconds of it being in the water. Grabbed it, lifted it out, it's all fresh water. Shook it off a little bit. The battery seems okay. Took the battery out right away. And we're just gonna stop flying it obviously for a while and let everything really dry out and see what happens when you put a DJI Mavic Pro into the water, submerge it for 15 seconds, pull it out, dry it off. Will it work? We'll find out. But not right now. We have to let it dry off in the heat a bit, make sure all the circuitry is dry, then we'll try to power it up and see if we have a Mavic Pro or whether I've just wrecked the whole thing. Okay, so we are now back at Sturgeon Bay from whence we started this morning. We left at 9 o'clock. It's now 4:30. We've gone all the way down to the Franklin Islands. Turn that down a little bit. Gone all the way down to the Franklin Islands and a little bit below the Franklin Islands to Snug Harbor, to Gilly's restaurant, and now back here. So 9 o'clock in the morning we left, putzing around. 4:30 we're back. $30 worth of gas down there, probably another 25 on the way back, $55 worth of gas. Back at our campsite. So we are cooking up some of the sorriest looking burgers you have ever seen in your entire life. We bought these in Perry Sound at a Sobeys grocery store. They're supposedly sirloin burgers, but they look just awful. We're browning them up in a frying pan off a little burner here that we've got going. This is dinner for tonight. A few buns, some cheese. They look like pre-processed. They don't even look real. Well, as they brown a little bit, actually, they're looking better. There we go. If that doesn't work out, and they don't look great, we may wind up with a cup of soup. The fire is a lot better though tonight, a lot better. Okay, so we made a move. We were up at the campground at the Sturgeon Bay Provincial Campground. We're now down in Parry Sound. We're going to ride the Parry Sound Harbour area today after a couple of days up in the other area north of here, about 40 kilometers. This is the launch. It's the saltwater dock launch. That's what they call it. Looks like a fairly good launch, free. And we're just about to put the boat in the water and we'll ride around here for a while. Boy, this reminds me of Miles Canyon in the Yukon. There's a really narrow patch of water just outside of Whitehorse in the Yukon. It's got these granite walls like this, except it's maybe twice as high as this and half as wide. Take a look at this place here. It's built on this big slab of granite. That's all stone rock right there. And he's built his cottage right up on top. There's a staircase down. There's a nice little starter cottage right on top of that hill. That's a big cottage. It's not a cottage, that's a home.
I think I'd be happy with that one.
You'd be happy with that. You never have to worry about it flooding either. Up high enough.
Where do you put the boat? I guess down by the dock, see if they don't have one.
Your boat is down here. I don't know, this is probably even an island, I'm not 100% sure, but there's your dock. That's quite a dock system he's got there too. That's what I love about the Sea-Doos. You can park it just about anywhere. Oh, just tuck it right in here. Oh. Right in the bushes. Little Inukshuk. It's just a little narrow channel here. Connects a couple of bodies of water. Well, just as a little post log to this video before I come to an end with it, I wanted to give you an update. I've got the DJI Mavic Pro here. It's been drying out for about 48 hours, maybe a little longer than that. It's powered up. It seems to have power.
The home button has been updated.
There we go.
Please check it on the map.
Let's now see if it's going to start and fly, because it has been submerged in the water, remember from that crash. Let's fire it up. Look at that. Look at that. It seems to be working. Even after being submerged in the water for, what was it, 15 seconds or so, the circuitry has died out. I'm quite amazed by this, that it still works. So for all of you who crash a DJI Mavic Pro, or maybe any DJI product in fresh water, if you get it out pretty quick, there's a chance it's still gonna work. So I'm pretty happy about that. How to go DJI. Well, that's it, guys. That's another Yukon Bob adventure. We are back safe and sound on land in Parry Sound. This is day 2 of a 2-day trip. The first day was up in Sturgeon Bay Provincial Park, camping overnight, and then on the Georgian Bay coastline from Sturgeon Bay all the way down to Killbear, roughly to Snug Harbor. Today, a little bit south of that on Georgian Bay. Winds have been pretty good, although it is just starting to pick up a little bit right now, so I'm glad we're back on land right now. That's it. Thanks for coming along on another Yukon Bob adventure. We'll see you on the next one.